getting ready to go down to this pit to pick up one of our big grill. It's been in use since the youth society was in
Go to the other side. Yeah. That's the easiest. We still have some cleanup to do. I'm not certain to all finished today.
Hey guys, we're in the greenhouse and we've made some updates in here. Rick's been working in here all day, getting things cleaned up and ready. We have not been able to go down to that pit because one of our geese was down there nesting. And so we finally were able to get down in that pit that our goose was nesting in. And they had their goslings and stuff. But we were able to go down there and retrieve a grill that we put down there. I don't know, a year ago? I don't know, a year ago?
What? Oh yes,
Okay, so those of you who have been watching or following in the aquaponics journey, especially those people on YouTube, because I know you guys have been looking at it more. Put the camera over here.
Can't turn the pumps on. Just speaker and all that.
Now, I'll be taking you guys to my husband so you can hear more about the vertical aquaponics system we're working on.
A few issues. You can see the brown spots due to overwatering when I was trying to find and fix leaks. So we're getting past that and now watering a lot less often. It's planted. Got another small section down there that section. Then the other side I still have to put in the pipes and pumps. I couldn't do the reservoirs because of where the geese were.
Of course, that's what
The
everyone wants to.
reservoir system over here, one reservoir that it drains into, that pumps to the top reservoir. That has multiple pumps in it, pumping out to the top. And there's a float plug in there that turns the pumps on and off so that it maintains the water levels and doesn't overflow one tank versus the other. So,
And how is that sustainable?
well, this is the first step using just
That's water.
commercial nutrients in the water. It uses less water because there's less evaporation. Ultimately, though, I'm going to be testing on the other side with duck water. And that's just going to be, we have a few little duck ponds I'm going to be pumping the water out, filtering the major solids out, and then doing the same system with the reservoirs full of duck water, and it'll just pump duck water up through. At that point, if that works as well, I'll be able to do kind of a side-by-side comparison. If that works just as well, I won't have...
It's cheaper.
Yeah, duck water is pretty much free. For me, at least, I have ducks. So. And at that point, this whole place would be fertilized via duck water. So I'd be emptying out part of their pond, keeping the duck water, their pond, cleaner. Because if you just let the poop build up, it gets all green and disgusting, and they won't even want to go in there. So you pump some of it out through, use that in here, and then refill with fresh water, so that the ducks are happy.
You want to go take a look at your bees?
Sure.
Now, believe me, guys, this is just a work in progress between me and my husband. So if you see a mess or disorganization, understand that he's been doing a lot of this for years on his own. I haven't been able to help.
Justice finds its place. The world's gone bad with burning rage. The beast awakens in its cage. Earth becomes a sacred stage.
That's my music in the background, guys. Now, that's a chicken coop Rick built over there a couple of years ago. Still very sturdy. We use it for a breeding program. A lot of times in the summer, all of our ladies are pretty much kept separate. Now, this area of the property, these are our new bees.
Come all the way around here, and then over in your own. And then right here's the best view. A little bit more, and you can actually see the...
Will you fix this camera for me? Can you slip it? Ooh, you see the activity over there, don't you? Yeah, that's where you just see the activity. Now, you come over this way and explain what happened after we put our bees up. The wind thing.
Well, basically, we had a big windstorm right after we set the hives up, and they went. They kind of like went back into their winter hibernation. They all huddled inside, stopped coming out entirely, and the hive looked dead. Both of the hives looked dead. It looked like they had left because they weren't coming out the next day at all. But it took them a while, I guess, to decide the wind had fully died, and then they started coming out again.
Oh, looks like we have to cut that tree, baby.
Why?
The one that's growing over the greenhouse?
Yeah. Those trees don't get very tall.
Now these trees right here, this is all serviceberry, or is it wild roses?
This is actually it's a white one. Snowberry.
Snowberry. So this is just part of, the property. It's a cute little area. There's so many cute areas here that we could set up to be hangout spots and different things like that.
This one would be a little noisy.
Yeah, but I like this little area. It looks like we just put a little fire pit in there.
This exists because we bulldozed all this up. This is all from leveling and digging out in there. That's what a lot of this is from.
Yeah, I'm not going that way because tick here is terrible. Yeah, I'm walking all the way back around. This year, ticks have been terrible. I'm telling you, like, let me hold that one from you. I'm telling you, the ticks have been so bad that Frontline isn't really doing a thing. Frontline Advantage isn't doing a thing. We're gonna have to probably get the dogs some oral medication. They're bad this year. And you think with all the poultry we have that our poultry would be doing more about the ticks. Well, the issue with that is the area where the ticks are in are not pushed back on brush. And we'll show you some of that area.
Nothing I could do when death finally came from me. Met a loving deity, then my soul could finally see.
I don't even know which way this is.
Oh, yeah. So we are walking out towards where the part of the property we don't use a lot. Those are the babies and the goslings and mommies and daddies who are extraordinarily productive. If you can see some of the little ducks over there, they still have their prettiness on them. They're still yellow. Have you done the pond lately?
No, I need to fix it.
What's wrong?
Like one of the corners.
I help you with that today because I was looking at one of our ducks and they need that pond. Yes.
That's why they use the front ones.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
We're just walking around the property.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we were headed down this way.
No, I'm not going down to Tick City.
Yeah.
This is the area that we need to beat back. This is where all the ticks are right now. We need to beat that back. And today we have one more project to do. Now these are the weird trees I was talking about the other day. Like this is the female pen where we keep the girls, the layers. And these trees have managed to grow in this extraordinarily hot soil. Still trying to figure out what kind of trees they are. Just no idea. I mean, in some ways they kind of remind me of the peach tree leaves in the front. But if anybody has any idea what these are, I'd love to know. They do have, I'm curious. And so, yeah, that's, like I said, one of the areas out here. And there's a lot of property. There's a lot of space here. There's a lot of opportunity to do different things. And, oh, here, there are my neighbors and their horses over there. It's a beautiful day. Today I had a very productive conversation with my neighbor. And I know that I haven't always felt welcome in this neighborhood.
Those cows.
Those are cows?
Yeah, they've got cows over there now.
Oh man, so our neighbors have cows now too. Yeah, I didn't know they got cows too. Well, gosh darn it. My eyesight is not good. 1 second. What's going on here? Something's going on here.
What's going on?
Okay, somebody follow. Yeah. Okay, I followed. Okay, I guess I pushed forward. Sometimes I'm not looking at this camera, guys, and so I don't know what's going on the screen. So if you see something pop up on there, you probably can't tell me. Yeah, I was more worried about her because she looks so downtrodden.
I know. I want to separate her off when I can.
And so
I have to set up an area.
Yeah.
There are 2 ladies that I think need a break from the men.
Man, I can't wait to give the men, female ducks here, a real break.
Yeah.
Of their necks. And so, the last of our day, I think, entailed out here was going to be us pulling that grill out. Right?
We have 1 goose here sitting, right?
Let's not go too close. Don't want to make her mad. There's 2 geese sitting.
He's sitting 1 giant there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. I want to get the pun done today. So, guys, I'm going to focus on trying to get that pun ready. And, hey, if you want to stay for this, you can. You can. If you don't have to. I'm going to move this stuff over here. And then I'm going to be... can you find my second glove? You see my second glove? You see my second glove? I don't know what I did with it. If not, don't worry about it. I like to get things over with. I hate to see any of my beasts that look downtrodden even a little. And if there's something I can do to fix it immediately, I will try. I'm not always mentally and physically able to do the things I'd like to do. But when I am mentally able to do the things that I like to do, I feel an immense responsibility. Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to weirdly stack one of my other phones on top of another phone in this weird way to where, oh yeah, y'all can see what I'm trying to do. Woo. But thank you. And so this is what we're going to be working at over here, right? To get the pond back right for the ducks. It's not a really big job. It's just a dirty one. So, right here is where we're going. And I'm about to duck underneath here, guys. And you guys can see it lower. You guys will see it higher. How about that? power off. And I'm just gonna step out for a second and put these down. Yeah, so we're about to get this taken care of really fast. So give our ducks a pretty place to swim. Do you need me to gather rocks or anything? Do you need me to gather rocks or stones or anything?
No, if you want, just go ahead and start routing the hose over to refill.
The gray one?
The one that comes from over there.
This green one. Well, come on out of there if you mad. Be big mad. This is right? This one?
Yeah. I usually route it around to the side, if you can.
I can. Now, this is the pond that we've been that's got this little issue with as far as we're gonna get filled up for our ducks. And then tomorrow morning, since it's an outlet, I'll come out and we'll put the dirt over it. Is that what we do? Or do you want to go pile down?
No, you're talking about for this?
For like any type of thing you need to fill or everything.
No. This is all about just getting big rocks. Already here. So, we need to get a couple rocks.
Big rocks?
Yeah, and put in there.
Okay, so I'm going for some big rocks. We have like a ton of big rocks, but every time I'm looking for big rocks, they're like
right over by the black cart, just on the other side of it.
on the by the goose nest.
Your favorite little tough cart to your left.
Oh. Oh man, why would you steal the heaviest damn rock from over there, Sabrina? I'm gonna just roll this right in here to you.
Yeah. What? No. I need smaller rocks than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smaller rocks, please.
Smaller rocks.
I don't know what you're thinking, baby.
Man, I have no idea.
And preferably one's kind of this shape.
More of a flat.
Ovalish, flattish, yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Let me know if I'm doing this the right way. This was kind of I know a little bit different from what you wanted, but this one kind of has that oblong feel to it, and this one kind of did too.
Yep, these are actually really good, and it might be enough. Hold on.
Oh. What do you need from me?
That shovel right there.
The shovel? The black and brown one right here?
Shovel. And I might need you in here, I might not. Hold on.
Okay, let me know. Ah, say what? We in that rock. You want to use your different one? This is rolling. I have two smaller, flatter ones. If you want to take a look at them. This one's really flat on the bottom, which I think is really cool. But be careful, I'm going to toss them behind you, okay?
I need the hoe.
The hoe?
Yeah.
You should have put it the other way.
Yeah.
You know, buddy.
Because I can't lean much.
I know. There you go. Ah. Yeah, so this is what life is like. Especially when you're a small farmer. And that's what we are. We're small farmers. And I think because of everything that's going on, that small farming is going to make a comeback. The more we start to bring the power back to our neighborhoods, the more we start to, have neighborhood get-togethers, the more people who start to grow things, we can start more barter. We can okay, you're making beef. I'm giving eggs. I'll give you eggs for a lot of part of the year, and then when you slaughter your cow, give me some of your beef. You trade chickens. You trade geese. You trade vegetables. You do things like that in order to ensure a connection to your community. And second chances are okay. Sometimes meetings start off bad. When I first moved here, I had someone living with me and two other guests that were there, along with my children. Well, 3 guests that were there, along with my children. And it was chaos. I'd also just got out of the hospital. And so me coming into this neighborhood was noisy and messy. And people, try not to make assumptions, but a lot of people assume after your first meeting that this is who you are. And then the sicker I became over time, the meaner I got. And then I became somebody I didn't recognize. Yeah. I became somebody I didn't recognize anymore. And that was scary. I have to be one of the most loving people, giving people. And it was so hard for me to understand that you can be loving and giving without allowing yourself to be taken advantage of. That was called creating boundaries. Here I am, 46, and having conversations about things that we should have all known by now. But lack of information, lack of proper medical care can lead to a lot of different incidents, to not understanding our body to the point where we're literally killing ourselves because we don't understand intestinal blockage. We don't understand carrying around that type of pain in our vagus nerve. In our vagus nerve. We'd rather turn our vagus nerve off than acknowledge the pain there. Today, as I was talking to my neighbors, and it didn't start off great. And I was just angry. But then I went over there and I felt like I was touched. And I don't know what happened, but spiritually, the whole conversation changed. We related on a whole new level. Her children speak Latin. Can you believe it? I know you're not over here about to try to rock nothing, because I'll rock it. I'll rock it with you right now. What's up? Square up.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. I'm talking to my rooster. But we are more than first impressions. People's like first impressions are lasting impressions. A lot of people aren't very, very good at first impressions now, are they? Don't keep judging everybody by the first impression you get of them. That's not their authentic self. You could be seeing them in a moment of absolute distress. And when I met my neighbors, I just come out the hospital. I had a bilateral saddle pulmonary embolus that I did not know if I was going to survive. But here I am now talking to you guys. And I got to see a little boy in this neighborhood that was an infant when I moved here. Like, I couldn't believe it when I saw him at the gate that he was the same baby I held the first time I was in this neighborhood. I was open and ready to receive them. And I had so many negative people in my life that prevented that. You got to be careful who you surround yourself with. People are there for your growth or your demise. And the people in my life, I tended to attract the ones, you attract what space you're in. I was in the space of unhealed and I did not want to heal. And so I attracted people who were unhealed and not wanting to heal. And I surrounded myself with them until it became acceptable for me to live the way I was living and do the things I was doing. Once I was no longer surrounded by people who were unhealed, well, I won't even say once then, I'd say after spending a couple days away from my house and realized that I was around people that were unhealed and praying, they were moved from my life. They were moved from my life. What they thought they were doing to destroy me was the ancestors finally saying, you are acknowledging your pain. People like that, some people don't deserve your time. Some people just deserve to be loved from a distance. You are not everybody's doctor. Sometimes you gotta let the world knock somebody else on their butt, because when you come in when you come into somebody else's universal lesson, trying to be a savior, you're gonna end up being part of their universal lesson. Always remember that you can't save everybody. The only person you can save truly is yourself. And when you save yourself, when you put on your own oxygen mask, then you can help other people put theirs on. Right now, I'm still trying to put on my own oxygen mask. When I'm done, it's going to be epic. I love you guys. I'm getting ready to sign off.